So I need to speak super quick because my camera is about to die. Okay, so happy ending of February. I'm filming this 28th. It's so cool that it's a leap year. So today's my grandpa's birthday, so happy birthday to him. So this video is just gonna be books I read, movies I watched, and Bible verses I memorized. This was not a good reading month for me at all. I read 3 books and one of them was an audiobook. So first one was Twilight. I was very disappointed. And I'm so sad because Twilight is one of my favorite movies and like stories. This was my first time actually reading the book and it was just so sad and disappointing. I feel like I would have loved the book if I had read it when I was like 13. I was just very critical of it. I was just like, what is this? Like, Bella is so dumb. I gave it 3 stars even though like half of the book I just skimmed it because I was just so disappointed by it. And I would not recommend that book. I totally recommend the movie over the book. The movie does not make it seem like Bella and Edward are that obsessed with each other. In the book, they're just like super unhealthy. Next one was Minimalism by Ino Watanabe. I just listened to this on audiobook while I was like walking and stuff. And I also gave this 3 stars just because it wasn't bad. I like to read books about minimalism just to keep me in that mindset. I found like I don't really learn stuff anymore because I'm just already like so into minimalism. Like, not that I know everything, don't want to sound conceited, but I didn't really learn anything new. It just kind of kept me in the mindset of how good it is to be a minimalist. And then the last book I read was In This Moment by Karen Kingsbury. This was a Christian book about a principal who starts a Bible club at his school because his school just has like a lot of problems like gangs, teen pregnancies, like kids shooting each other, drugs, like all of that stuff. And so he starts a voluntary Bible club and then obviously it like changes the kids' lives for the better. And then there's like a lawsuit against him because they're like, how can you, like, separation of church and state and all that. So my camera ended up dying and the last thing I was talking about was the In This Moment book. How it was just, I don't know, like I enjoyed it but it was way too predictable and I would just like not read it. It was very preachy, and not that being preachy is bad, it's just like I already knew it was gonna happen pretty much. Like I saw no point in reading it. I mean, I totally would recommend it for those that are not Christians and want to like learn about it. That would be good for them. But for someone, not that I know everything, I don't want to sound like, you know, I know everything because I don't, but I did feel like I was kind of like I already know, you know. So moving on to the movies that I watched, because I watched a lot of TV. I watched Survivor, finished like the seasons that we have free. Postgrad, I only watched this because it had Rory Gilmore in it. It was kind of weird actually. It was like really random. I watched Barbie. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it was also like very predictable for me. I felt like I didn't gain anything from watching that movie is all I'm gonna say. I watched the Hannah Montana movie. It's really weird because I watched this over the span of a few days because I've watched this movie so many times I literally know all the things that are gonna happen already. And so I was just kind of watching it slowly. I will say though, with the special features, it's so funny. Like Jackson, he actually didn't even get accepted into college. It's so funny. And it had like the scenes in there and it was really funny to watch those. So I did enjoy that part. I watched Because of Winn-Dixie, which I remember wanting to read the book when I was little and just never getting to it. And I watched the movie and it is so cute and like wholesome. And I also watched A Dog's Purpose. I read the book in January, so I finally watched the movie. And it was also very cute. My family and I were crying when, it's not a spoiler, but pretty much in A Dog's Purpose, the dogs keep like, it's one dog that keeps like reincarnating into like other dogs. And so in one of the deaths we were like crying because it was a golden retriever and we have golden retrievers, so it was so sad. I also watched the movie Unplanned. I have the DVD but I watched it on, I think it's on Prime or Tubi, and it's just so sad. Like, I mean, the acting is not the best, but I do think it's still a good movie. And I also watched a lot of Chopped, like just in the background. I liked watching it while I was cooking and it just got me in like the mood, like pretending like I was on a cooking show. So that was fun. I watched Chopped Junior though, not the regular Chopped, because it's so crazy how these little kids can cook so good. And then last thing I watched was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I watched this in the background like while I was cooking. I really like this movie. So those were the movies and shows I watched. And last thing I'm gonna go through is the Bible verses I memorized. I finally did learn a verse a week, which I'm super excited for because I realized like not to brag, but I have really good like memorization if I put my like head to it, if I try. So the 4 verses that I memorized were, let me just pull it up. So the first one is Ecclesiastes 9:10, and it's, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Next one was 1 John 3:1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. 1 John 4:7. Beloved, love one another, for God is love. This is the one that I'm struggling with. Beloved, love one another, for God is love. Anyone that loveth is born of God. Did I not? Okay. Beloved, love one another, for God is love. Everyone that loveth is born of God and loveth God. I need to check that one. I'm sorry. Knoweth God. Okay. Beloved. I was saying that one wrong. So beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. I was saying that one so wrong. And everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. Okay, let me try again. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. Okay, I got that one. And the last one was Psalm 89:1, which was, I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations. So those were books I read, movies I watched, and Bible verses I memorized. I'm hoping next month is a better reading month because I just did not have good books this month, so I'm sad about that. But I hope you were able to get some book ideas, movie ideas, encouragement to memorize Bible verses, and hope you have a good day. Happy March!